Hey everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we're taking a look at the Yakima HighRoad roof-mounted bike rack, and we'll see how it fits our 2023 Kia Seltos. The HighRoad is going to be a premium roof-mounted rack that allows you to carry your bike without having to take the front wheels off. It's simply a matter of loading it onto your roof, tightening it down, driving to your destination, and then when you get there, take the bike off as is. Compared to fork-mounted racks like the HighSpeed, this is going to be helpful because you'll get out onto the trails that much faster. But the downside to this style of a rack is that you do have to lift your bike a little bit higher up to get it up into place, and I'll show you that later. Today, we are going to focus on our Kia Seltos though and talk about different clearance issues or clearance good things with this rack. The main thing is you're going to need a roof rack first in order to mount your bike rack. Ideally, you'll want your bike rack as far out to the end of the rack as possible because that will give you more clearance. Here we have plenty of clearance around our towers to get this secured. This is pretty much the ideal situation for getting your bike rack onto your roof. And because it doesn't take up much space on the roof, you're able to carry around multiples of these bike racks if you want to carry multiple bikes. This HighRoad is going to be the longer edition compared to the older style, which is 2023 and older. The old style did not sit as long. This is going to give you more versatility for more types of bikes. So your weight capacity is going to be up to 40 pounds for on-road situations. If you are going off-road, you are going to about almost have that weight capacity. And your wheelbase maximum length is going to be up to 52 inches, which is very helpful for those larger mountain bikes with larger frames. In our case here, we have a smaller road bike, so I'm not as concerned about wheelbase. Now, when you do have bike racks that have longer wheelbases, though, you do have to be mindful that it does take up more space behind your car. With where this bike rack is mounted, we have plenty of clearance from the back of the rack to the top of our hatch. So I'm still able to grab whatever I need out of my cargo area and not have to worry about it making contact with the bike rack. I even have clearance behind the bike rack to get access to the integrated cable lock. There is this lock and as well as another spot for a lock over by that rear wheel strap. There are no lock cores included with this rack though, so if you did want to use these functions, you are going to have to purchase some SKS lock cores, which are sold separately. But other than that, this is going to be a very low profile and compact rack on your Seltos. I usually recommend, if possible, to get a hitch-mounted bike rack because then it's going to bring your bikes closer to the hitch, easier to load and unload, and those have more weight capacity. But I get it. The Seltos doesn't really come with a hitch, so you would need to get one attached for your vehicle. And if you can't get a hitch or you only have a roof rack and want to utilize that, well, the HighRoad is going to be one of the best options in those scenarios. Now, to get your bike up and off of the roof might be a little tricky for those heavier bikes, but let me demonstrate. The thing holding this in place is going to be your front wheel cradle and your rear wheel strap. That front cradle is going to be secured with this torque right knob. This prevents over tightening, so once you get to proper tension, it's going to click. That rear wheel strap, this adjusts for the different wheelbases, and you do get two straps in case you have a fat tire bike. We're using the short strap for now. And then we're going to come over to the front wheel cradle, and we're going to loosen this knob. Loosening this knob allows for that bottom cradle to release our front wheel. We are going to have to maneuver a little bit around our bike, but once that's down, we can then grab our bike and go. This may be a little tricky, but we're going to try this out. Being very careful with our car, we're going to gently step down from that door, holding our bike up, and now we are ready to hit the road. Fortunately, the Seltos isn't that tall of a vehicle, making this a little bit easier to load bikes up and on the car. I still prefer loading bikes up onto smaller sedans, but that's because I'm a shorter person myself. If you have heavier bikes, that is something to be mindful of. Remember, this does have a weight capacity of 40 pounds, but it's also reliant upon how much weight do you want to lift up and onto your roof, as well as the weight capacity of your roof rack if you want to carry around multiples of these. So if you are looking for a bike rack that makes it very easy to get your bikes up and on your Seltos, this is a good option for you. Just be mindful that this is a wheel-on rack, so I don't have to reattach the wheel, but I do have to lift this bike higher up to get it into the rack. If you like this design, but you need something that's easier to load your bikes onto, check out the Yakima HighSpeed as an alternative. That one doesn't sit as high. You can load your bikes closer to the roof of your car. Very similar design and capabilities though. Definitely worth checking out here on our website. But right here, right now, this was a look at the Yakima HighRoad roof-mounted bike rack, and you saw it on the 2023 Kia Seltos.